Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at these from Anker, the Soundbuds Sport Plus. So these are the new version, the second generation, the new iteration of Anker's Soundbud wireless in-ear earphones, and these are pretty sick. So normally I'd start with a physical overview, but let's first go with what is most important with a pair of earphones or headphones or whatever they may be. Sound quality. Do these sound good, or are they just a bit of a flop? Now these things actually sound great. Originally when I was putting these in, if I get the right side, I was putting them in like this, and and I thought, God, these sound garbage, and they kept falling out. But what you're meant to do is you're meant to plug it into your ear and actually twist it around to the bottom, and that actually means that they stay in very firmly, even if you are running or jogging, for example, and even sound a hell of a lot better. They're very comfortable as well, actually, which I found to be quite surprising. I'm very likeable towards Apple's earphones without these rubbery kind of dome things that you tend to find on a lot of the cheaper earphones, and I got quite used to that style of even Apple's cheap approach without having these rubbery things. But once I got them in my ear and got them and started listening to music for prolonged periods of time, I can easily have these in for around about 45-50 minutes at quite a high volume without getting any ear fatigue, which is very high for me. Something like an Apple pair of earphones, I can only tend to cope around 20-25 minutes, and then it just gets too much for my ears. Now, a couple of unique things about these. So these are wireless, these are Bluetooth, there is no wired option. So be mindful if you are using these with a phone, for example, you can't just plug it into the 3.5mm jack, which is great if you're going to own one of the new iPhones, which supposedly doesn't have a headphone jack, but there is no option to go wired. A lot of these wireless ones are go all or go home. It's either wireless or nothing at all. They do use Bluetooth, they use one of the newer Bluetooth standards, however, so you're not going to be draining battery life too majorly, but you may find that not having an option to go wide is a slight downside for you. You get a load of stuff in the box. You even get a little bit of a bag. So we've got a very strong magnetic clasping and closing system at the top, and it's as simple as putting these into the bag, and you'll keep these nice and safe regardless of your eventuality. I shove these in that little bag, shove them in my blazer pocket, and took them to school literally every day, and they're great. They're comfortable, they're protected in the bag. I mean, you don't even need them in the bag, to be honest, but it's a really nice touch to have it included. Talking of things included, you also get a small but flat micro USB cable, which makes charging these super convenient. You don't need a majorly long one because you probably aren't going to be listening to these while they're charging, and one thing Anker certainly did well, for example, was make it incredibly difficult to access the micro USB charging point. After a bit of forcing open of the unit, I managed to get access to the micro USB port, and these things charged relatively quickly. One thing that's also very unique about these is that if I put these behind my head, for example, and wanted to turn them off because I wasn't listening to them, these are actually magnetic. So the two Anker logos on either side are magnetic. So it's a simple case of putting them together like this, and you can see now that they are firmly magnetized together. If I just do the same thing again, you can see that they are magnetized together, and that actually turns the unit off. So no holding finicky power buttons and waiting for audible references and sounds to reassure you that they're turned off. It's a simple case of, oh right, I can stop listening now, and bang. Put them together and they turn off, which is really good, because the chances are if they're together, you're not going to be listening to them anyway. On-board controls, we get a power button and also a pause button and a plus and a minus control, so you can turn your music up or down. And a noteworthy point about these, which I really like, is that the volume communicates over Bluetooth, meaning that when you change the volume on here, it actually changes the master volume on your phone. I don't like it when your phone has its own volume, but then earphones or headphones also have their own volume, where you can have it on minimum here and on maximum on your phone, and then that equals out to about medium. I don't like that. It communicates with the phone straight away, which is just a lot better, really. So let's go a really quick overview of the unit. We get our covers which go around the edge of our earphones. You do get replacements for these, and it's got like that little like flicky bit on the end which keeps it secure once you've twisted it around in your ear. We also get an Anker logo, which is nice. It's a matte kind of dark grey finish on a kind of a purpley kind of darker grey as well beneath that. You also get in the box a selection of bigger and smaller earphones and the rubber ear domes. So if you've got big ears, small ears, whatever the case may be, children's size, adult size, you are going to be able to use these absolutely no problem. The wire is nice and long enough that you can reach both your ears, but you haven't got too much slack, and if you do something like running, these are great. In terms of sound quality, the bass is quite nice, it's quite rich, it isn't piercing. If you have the treble, I did find that the treble may be slightly overdone in some cases, especially if you have your music a little bit loud, and the mids could do with just a little bit more filling up, but I managed to EQ that in my phone anyway. So Spotify's got an EQ, like a lot of phones have audio EQs, but it's all just personal preference, and I do listen to quite expensive headphones and speakers on a daily basis, so you can't be expecting everything from these. But key points to mention is they're great value, they don't fall out your ears, they've got really quite good sound quality, they're very, very comfortable, and you can turn them on or off using the magnet inside the earphone. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like rating and to subscribe. Go and pick up a pair of these for any holidays or adventures or trips, or even if you're just going to be doing a bit of gym work or running, jogging, etc. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like rating and to subscribe, and as always, we will see you in the next GeekaWhat video.